Hi, John. How are you today?
Hi, Elliot. How you doing?
I'm good. So I'm assuming that you saw the announcement from IRS and Department of Justice and a number of other law enforcement partners about their seizure of cryptocurrency accounts started by terrorist financing groups.
Yeah, in fact, I was actually scheduled to do an interview with Don Fort, the IRS chief who's stepping down, and he had to push it a day, and obviously we didn't know why. And this is obviously this is the reason. A major announcement. There's only good news here, but the major news from my perspective and your perspective, I'm assuming as well, is all the agencies that work together, Treasury, Justice, IRS, CI, Homeland Security. So that's great because we always want our law enforcement folks to work together. And the second major theme, of course, is I think we know intuitively that cryptocurrency can be used illegally. And now we know not only is that true, and I think we've known that for a bit, but that terrorist organizations are also utilizing these technologies. And this forfeiture action, which is, again, another good tool that the government has to forfeit assets, just shows, again, the combination of partnership among the agencies, but also their dedication to new areas of moving illicit funds.
Yes, one of the things that I was reminded of in reading this announcement is that it's easy for us to sometimes think of people who are looking to finance terrorist organizations and activities as being not all that sophisticated in terms of how the financial system works or how various financial instruments work. And clearly here, while there's some what I'll call old school elements, the fact that the effort was to receive or gather the money using cryptocurrencies tells us that these folks are paying attention to the cutting edge just as we have to in the industry.
No, that's right. And there's at least three organizations involved. And the reference, you take a look at the press release on the IRS website and the other agencies. But in terms of Al-Qaeda, what struck me was the terrorist organizations operated a Bitcoin money laundering network, and they used what they call Telegram channels and other social media platforms. And this thing that's relevant and some other things we're working on, in some instances, they purported to act as charities when in fact they were openly and explicitly soliciting funds for violent terrorist attacks. So again, unfortunately, the model of using phony charities to collect funds, in this case, crypto funds, to commit violent acts is something that we continue to see, and we need to be wary of, obviously, in terms of our clients and our customers.
Yes. I think the other thing that was, you mentioned the cooperation among the agencies, but, I think this also showed that our law enforcement agencies in the U.S. also are paying a lot of effective attention to the cutting edge of how illicit funds move regardless of the form. And again, here with cryptocurrency, the sort of mistaken assumption that all of those transactions are 100% unviewable turns out, of course, not in fact to be true.
Right. And even though we all know that the claims made are allegations, and so there still needs to be a determination of liability, the other part of this that struck me, unfortunately, as a current issue, the ISIS reference here is a scheme related to COVID-19. So the website they created claimed to sell FDA-approved N95 respirator mask when that wasn't the case. So again, unfortunately, whenever there's a pandemic, earthquake, hurricane, there's always fraud. Now, sort of the angle here is that terrorist organizations are using the same mechanisms that domestic criminals use.
Right. We've written and posted a lot of information about fraud in the COVID-19. This is the first direct connection that I've seen to terrorist financing using the pandemic as the lever point to try to get people to make contributions or send money.
Yep. So congratulations to the various agencies that were involved. Obviously, we'll watch this case as it goes through the courts. But again, just another item for us to pay attention to in our community.
Yep. Good to talk to you, John. Talk to you next week.
All right. Take care. Stay safe.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.